Well, welcome. This is our first YouTube video after quite a bit of time and quite a bit of people that have been requesting to start a YouTube channel. This is the first official longer video that I will be posting and we will be posting. So, my name is Ella, and you might have come across my content. And this is my gorgeous partner, Marco. And he is my greatest conversationalist and my partner in life. And I am going to introduce you more and more to this gorgeous man and into his gorgeous mind. We will dive into different topics so you will also get I think, deeper understanding from both our perspectives on different topics. So it is not just me who is going to be talking, it is both our views and both our opinions. And I find that the most beautiful part of it is that we sometimes have very different opinions.
But we unpack it beautifully together.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is quite awesome. So today, I would like to start off by just pointing out the room that we are sitting in right now is a house that we recently moved into. And in the beginning of this year, I've created a vision board with a beautiful room that was just surrounded by glass and very close to the ocean. And well, a couple
This is
months in,
pretty close.
this is pretty close to the
Pretty
room
close.
that is on my vision board. So
Yeah.
that is very nice. So I think this channel will be really about our journey of discovering the mind and how we can do practices to raise our frequencies, and just a very authentic and raw and honest view that I think we sometimes are perceived, especially when you post social media online, that everything is very rose colored and always happy and very cheerful. But there is also a very raw side to things. And I think that we will dive into those topics. And even when you are feeling low, which tools you can use to work yourself back up and to realize that every human goes through these processes.
Yeah, we all have bad days. We all have off days.
Hmm.
Some days it is hard for us to live up to what's important to us or our values or principles, and that's okay. And if you have a bad day, it's not the end of the world, you know. We were talking about it not so long ago how we set such a high bar or a high standard for ourselves, and that when we do have a bad day and we don't, and we miss that bar, that we're hard on ourselves. We feel like we're not ourselves, or
What is for you your favorite exercise or tool that you use if you feel that you are not yourself or you're not centered or present? What is the tool that you like to use the most?
well, at the moment, it's I'm learning about Ho'oponopono. So, in essence, how do I say? You know me, I like to learn about new practices and healing modalities and always give it my own little spin.
Hmm.
So, I guess I would boil down my practice to reconnecting and recentering myself. Because that's always the thing, I always felt like, how can I say, escaping my reality as soon as it was uncomfortable. I would close my eyes and envision myself in my ideal life. So, but then you mentioned saying that that's wrong because I'm creating resistance with my current situation. So that's also what I'm kind of putting out. So at the moment, it's pretty much, how would you say it? Pretty much just taking a deep breath and relaxing, closing your eyes, and then through Ho'opono practice with my own little spin on it and going inward, peeling away the layers and just resetting, reconnecting myself, to divinity or to source or to the sun or whatever it is, and just being completely happy and content and at peace with present,
Hmm.
feeling of nothingness.
It is something that I want to point out because Marco took me on a guided meditation last week, and it was so powerful. It was truly. There is one thing of having a guided meditation, which I myself also like to create, but the way that he led me through it, the way that the visualizations were put into place, um, you really stepped it up a level. It was so clearing and it was so peaceful. And well, I think the first thing that I said to you was like, "Don't put me close to a laptop right now," because I have the feeling as if my electromagnetic field is going to distort computers. So I would like to also ask of you if you would be interested in having a guided meditation, or maybe even a group session. Let us know, because we are planning to set these up, and it would be nice to see if this is something that the community is interested in. But for now, I am very excited that you have started to dive into Ho'oponopono, because you are teaching me also
As I'm learning.
as you are
Yeah,
learning. And I think that in addition to the practices that we have been doing, this is a beautiful new practice. Would you maybe want to explain a bit about Ho'oponopono, of your understanding up until this point?
Well, it's different because one thing that I like about myself and that I would promote is that you must always, every time you learn something new, understand it in your own way and do it in your own way, because there is no perfect practice. You don't have to abide by those rules step by step.
No, I fully agree.
Yeah, because everyone is different.
Yeah.
And like if this rule doesn't work with you, but you enjoy where it's kind of going and where it's taking you, change it and mold it to what you really want. So the way that I understand Ho'oponopono, because I'm still learning about it. So in the beginning, it's all about centering yourself, breathing, quietening your mind, and then it's kind of like an appeal to the divinity or to source or to the collective or to universe or to God or to whatever you believe in, right? And you're working with four phrases, which is I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And those four phrases you're chanting over and over again. But there's meaning and there's volume behind those four phrases. It's not just those four things. You have to understand what it means. So when you say, I'm sorry, first of all, it doesn't matter how you say it, in what order you say it. You can say it in any order. But the way I say it, I first say, I'm sorry. And what you're doing is you're saying, I'm sorry for any unconscious data or blockages or actions or anything that's stored within your energetic field. Right? So it's an appeal to whatever you believe in to to clear you of the unconscious blockages that you have. Let's use that for now. So you first say, I'm sorry for having these, because it's unconscious. I don't know if it's there, or I did it and it was an unconscious thing, whatever, right? Then you say, please forgive me. But you're not just asking for forgiveness for yourself. You're asking forgiveness for your ancestors as well, your ancestral line, your parents, your family, whoever else. So you're pretty much saying, please forgive me for having these unconscious blockages. Please forgive me and my family, my ancestors, or anyone that has played a role in me having these unconscious blockages in my energetic field. So I'm sorry, please forgive me, and then thank you. Thank you for clearing me. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for taking out these unconscious blockages. And then I love you. So then you can say, I love you for whatever reason. So once you understand
Unconditional love.
unconditional love, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for, well, I love you for unconditional love. Yeah. So once you are chanting these over and over and over again, the idea is that eventually you create a connection, a straight connection to divinity or to source or universe. And that opens up channels for you to be cleansed and cleared and whatever. But that's now just for a basic Ho'oponopono. You've got one for financial blockages, you've got one for abundance, you've got one for whatever. Right? So that's the basic understanding of it. But you'll realize that once you actually start chanting it over and over and over again, you don't have to necessarily feel it. Just chant it, say it over and over.
Why do you say that? You don't necessarily have to feel it?
Because the way that what I noticed was, because sometimes when I'm practicing it, I don't know why I'm doing it. It's just I just feel a little anxious, or I feel uneasy, or I just feel out of alignment. Let's say that. So then I would just chant it, but then how can I say, I would chant it over and over and over again. And just by saying that, eventually emotions will arise automatically. You know, you just have to say it for me, and then something will pop up that was bothering me, and then I'll chant that healing modality over and over until it kind of let goes. I leave room for whatever thought and emotion to come up because I feel like from you saying that over and over again, automatically things will come up. That's
Well,
creating unease.
I think also sometimes things happen subconsciously, so you can't really pinpoint on what it is that is bothering you at
Exactly.
this
So yeah, so
stage.
you don't know what it is. So by you
I
saying
gotcha.
the by you saying these four phrases over and over, that automatically peels back the layers, and eventually like there it is. That's
Okay.
what's making me feel uneasy. So that's why I say mold it and change it to whatever you want. Try it. Say it over and over. Do some research to further your knowledge on it, and then just experiment with it and see whatever comes up with it. So when I do
Mm.
it, like, as you know, I combine breathing with it. I combine Ho'oponopono. I combine visualization with it. Whatever it is to help you, what will work for you to control your attention.
Yes.
Because if you're practicing something and your mind keeps wandering, either you need more practice to practice focus attention, or change it into something where you can clearly 100% control where your attention and your mind is going.
Yes, I think that is also the difference between guided meditations and just meditating in silence.
Yeah,
A lot of people struggle with meditating in silence because of the monkey brain, so
yeah.
to speak. So your thoughts are just bouncing around, and it is hard to keep the focus in the present and in center. A beautiful thing, a beautiful practice that I've learned across or over the years was if you struggle with that, is visualize something in the center of your head and
The floating monk.
exactly.
Yeah,
So for me, it is the floating monk. And I imagine a monk levitating in my, like in the center of my head. And I'm trying for the monk not to touch the edges. And it is almost as if you're playing this balance game with like the ball on a board and you're trying to keep the ball in the middle. And that keeps you already so present by visualizing that. And that's also it's not that easy because the monk sometimes just goes to the edges and you just want to keep them in center. But that is also it is a practice to help you stay focused and to stay centered when you are in a silent meditation.
yeah. That's it. Because that's all that you're practicing is focused attention.
Yes.
To be able to keep your focus on one thing.
Yes, correct.
So floating monk and all these other practices are just
Tools.
it's tools and
Yeah.
learning how to perfect it
Yeah.
in a way.
Yes.
So yeah. So sometimes if your mind is wandering when you're trying to meditate, it doesn't necessarily mean that the meditation is wrong or you are wrong.
No, not at all.
Change it up,
Yes.
change the script a little more to something that's easier for you to visualize or something that you resonate with, and then see from there. But
Yes.
practice how to do it.
Exactly. I would like to also give the opportunity to people to send in questions, especially when it is regarding anything that is law of attraction based or frequency based. Because even if both of us won't know the answer to it, um,
It'll
'cause-
be interesting to hear what people are curious about and the questions that you
exactly,
have.
exactly. And that is also a statement that I want to really make clear is that in no ways I think that both or either of us will say that we know the truth and what we say that is the
Never,
only truth. No.
never,
So
never.
it even can be that something will come because often when we have these type of conversations, it is almost as if you're starting to channel information. It is like
Sometimes, yeah,
that is
yeah.
the moment when I
You
guess
get the
my
goosebumps. Yeah,
exactly
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
goosebumps come out and it is just information that is in flow and that will be something that really resonates with me at that point. But I want to state also that is my truth, and some people will not resonate with that, and that is also perfectly fine. Just as much that we can disagree sometimes on a way of doing things, but I find that there is so much respect in the way that we communicate and the way that we explore spirituality,
And
maybe,
each other.
and each other. Yes. So that makes it very interesting. So I would love to, because I think both of us love doing research and learn new things along the line. and both of us love using affirmations and
And different meditation practices and stuff.
exactly.
It's nice when you actually really experiment and learn new things, because we are forever evolving. And your mind is forever evolving. Your problems are forever evolving, or whatever it is. So I don't think that there's necessarily one right way. It might be right for you right now, and then as things change and you change and things happen, mix it up and try something else. It's exciting,
Yes.
you know. So yeah, if you guys ask some questions about a topic that we don't even know about, that's exciting for us to go and do some research and figure out what it is, or and learn more about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
What's like a meditation that resonates with you right now? Or what's your biggest healing modality? Or the biggest thing that you're working on?
Well, especially because this is an ongoing thing right now that I think a lot of people are struggling with is at the moment the energies are just extremely intense. It is the frequency of Earth is just rising tremendously fast, and with that there is also a lot of anxiety that surfaces. I have never been a person that experienced anxiety, and now over it's very fascinating, and also especially because I am so well aware of it, that it is not per se something that is happening within me, but it is almost like an external thing that is laid upon me, and I'm just trying to find my flow within these experiences or these feelings or emotions. And it is almost as if I am getting to know myself again from a different perspective. So luckily, we are very well equipped with a lot of tools of to like we have the know-how as to how to step into a positive mindset, or practices, and especially if we help each other, that is very good. Have an accountability partner, it is amazing.
But if you don't, that's also fine.
That
Really,
absolutely,
that's
yes.
also really fine. It's if you can be your own accountability partner, then you
Well done.
well done.
Yes.
Well done.
So I think it is absolutely beautiful. What I enjoy to do now. We are very very lucky with having the beach literally across the street.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you can kind of like maybe they have some questions now as to what is anxiety, why do I have anxiety, and how what would you say is the cause of anxiety, and then how would you say you deal with it?
So I think, and I believe that we actually spoke about this yesterday.
Yesterday morning. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
is that it is almost as if you're. Oh no, I have to pronounce it right. Your cash, your cash,
Cash.
cash
Yeah.
bin,
Your bin, your recycle bin.
recycle bin is full, and you don't have if you haven't given yourself intervals of just rest and just recenter, then I believe that it is almost as if the stress hormones in your body just accumulate.
It's just too
And
much.
it is, you
It's too
are,
much information that you're struggling to process, and your brain is just like that's why you feel a little shaky, and so sometimes you don't know why.
yeah,
But like you're saying, your bin is too full, or your cache is too full,
needs to
or
be emptied.
it needs to be emptied. Yeah, yeah.
Needs
So
to be reset.
there's nice practices and meditations and whatever you want to call it. That's just all you got to do is just
Yes,
reset and reconnect. Slow down. Take a few minutes as long as you can.
exactly.
Breathe and do whatever meditation you kind of resonate with, and just chuck out. That's all you're doing. Spring cleaning. Throw it all out. Process it. Allow whatever thoughts come to surface. Because ignoring it and pressing it down is just going to kind of make it worse. It's going to
Yeah,
cause frustration.
I think this is also a very good point to just bring up, that when people haven't done the work, so when you actually haven't allowed yourself to empty your bin for a very long time and it's been overflowing
Fair enough.
nonstop.
Yeah, there's
Um,
roots growing.
exactly, there are roots
Roots and
growing through the
vines.
bin.
The swallows made a nest in there.
So I think it is also very important to notice that if this practice hasn't been put in play for a very long time, it will take some time to empty that bin,
Yes.
and you
Well,
might
that's a good thing. So I would say that if you want to learn or know how long it's going to take, think about how long has it been since you've emptied your bin.
exactly.
I love how we're using this as a metaphor, emptying your bin. Hope you guys understand what do you mean by that.
Yeah, well, it is kind of the
Like your recycle bin that's in your
on your desktop.
yeah, you've got files and data that's stored
Yeah,
there that you're unaware of it, but it's taking memory, it's taking space, it's still running the processes or
yeah.
whatever. I think that's a better way of understanding it.
It's time to clear your search history.
Oh yeah, clear your search history, your cache, your cookies.
Everything.
Do everything. You gotta re-log into Netflix afterwards. So yeah, so yeah. Coming back to the point, I guess it depends on when last have you done it. So it might take a little longer, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You will feel the difference, and it's just the more you do it, the longer it will be in between your anxiety feelings or sensations
Yeah,
or
it is.
whatever, I guess.
I think it is also very important to bring up that, especially if you have been dealing with a lot of anxiety and with a lot of stress, um, this starts to hardwire in your brain.
Yeah.
So at some point, the stress and anxiety is basically the only thing that you know.
Yeah.
So
It's cemented in your brain.
it's cemented,
It's
it's
created the
hardwired.
neural pathways and
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So with that, if this has been brought to a point that this is your go-to, it is almost as if you are addicted to those stress hormones. And it sounds like, who in the world gets addicted to stress hormones or to
That's
anxiety?
what your body becomes accustomed to.
Exactly.
It's safe place. It's
Exactly.
what it's
It is
familiar with. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you really want to shift that, there's a bit of digging that needs to be
Of
done
course.
there. So it is like de-rooting or taking the roots out,
Yeah.
really, really digging.
Mm.
And well,
That's just practice.
that is
It's
practice.
just practice to rewire your brain, and it is possible.
Absolutely.
100% possible. You can't be too depressed or too anxious to never be happy again or never not be anxious or depressed.
No.
I think that it just takes time.
What do you think has been the the point of, like, where do you feel that a change is starting to make? So when you start to create a momentum in the opposite direction, does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I guess I've had different journeys and then
Mm-hmm.
different practices or healing or whatever that I needed to go through. But I would say that right now, Ho'oponopono is kind of the best for me. Yeah, please do more research into it and actually try it out. Do a video once we have a more fuller understanding of it. Maybe we'll talk about it.
I think so.
Yeah,
Would be
maybe
cool.
maybe we can do a little practice and record a little meditation for you. But I guess the biggest thing for me now is because up until this point, I've been focusing on my future, imagining my life, my ideal life, trying to manifest. And I've been really good at manifesting, but at the moment, not so much. At the moment, not so much. And then Ella mentioned that it's my resistance to my current situation that's digging me deeper in this. And then there's actually that quote from The Miracle Morning that says, "Love the life you live while you build the life of your dreams." So at the moment, that's what I'm doing. I'm slowing down, slowing down. I'm not
It's
so
11:11.
I'm not so impatient or so forceful of my future to come into fruition or to come into reality. That's what I realized, is that I was too forceful and I was too desperate to get out of whatever the situation I'm in now. So at the moment, it's me slowing down and making peace with whatever. Not making peace, because it sounds like when someone says make peace with it, it sounds like you're in a shitty situation. Just make peace with it.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no, no. So what I'm doing is actually seeing the beauty and seeing the abundance around me.
Oh.
And the only way you do that is if you slow down. You really gotta slow right down,
Yeah.
and then feel that connection that you have to the universe. Feel the life that's cycling through you. Feel the energy that's cycling through you. Feel the connection you have to your family. Feel the love and the appreciation you have to the people around you that's doing wonders and helping you out and being there and the support. Feel all those blessings that you have. You know what I mean? The fact that you got out of bed, and opened your eyes and saw the sun and walked around is already a miracle.
I love this statement. I have that also in several of my videos. And just like, do you actually realize that you survived 100% of your worst days.
Yeah, exactly.
It is
Exactly.
something to be proud of, and
Exactly. And
it's
you,
something to just really take a moment to yourself. It's like, wow, I actually did that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like that's a big thing, a big part of like when you so focus on manifesting, you're putting blinders on
Mm.
because you're just so focused on your future. And then when you feel uncomfortable in your current situation, you decide to tap out of it and just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on what I want.
Mm.
And you're sitting there closing, and you're feeling the joy and the appreciation for whatever you want to bring in. But as soon as you come back to reality, you're snapping. Pretty much to boil it down, it's kind of like me seeing the abundance around me,
Mm-hmm.
loving the life I have right now, no resistance. You know, at the moment,
Mm.
I've kind of let go of manifesting or whatever.
So
But
there, okay, so there I'm going to jump in because basically what you are doing, and that is I think a misconception that a lot of people have when it comes to manifesting, is that we forcefully, exactly like you've stated, need to push in a certain direction. At some point, exactly like you stated, but you're still busy manifesting. Once you send out a signal, you have to learn to let go. And with that, it is exactly as you're stating, because you are taking the surrounding in right now and you are enjoying where you are in this state.
you have to.
You have
You
to.
have to, because that's your predominant feeling.
Exactly.
You know, you're only spending a little bit of time manifesting, and then for the rest of your
But basically what you're
like,
doing is you are manifesting the entire time, because there is almost like a cycle, because if when you look at it, it's like you have your electromagnetic field and you're sending out the signals that the signals out into your field, and basically that is what is attracting into your life again. So
mhm,
you are manifesting not what you want but who you are.
exactly.
So if you find a way to be beautifully at peace with your present and current situation, that means that you are sending out almost this sense of abundance. If you
Hmm.
then do the practices of
Hmm.
tapping into the frequency of abundance, so you're not continuously doing that, because basically what you're doing, you're sending out a signal, and then you have to let it go, because you can't forcefully pull it back in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess what the way I see it is that if you look at the energy you're sending out throughout the day, right? Say now from when you wake up to when you go to bed, that's now your 100%,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now the little bit of time that you spend trying to manifest, that's maybe 10, 20% of your day. Let's throw a number out there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you maybe manifest a little bit in the morning and a little bit at night or whatever you focus on attracting it. So say that's maybe 20%, just a number. But now the rest of the day, you have so much what's the word now? Rejection. So much
Rejection,
rejection,
stress, negativity.
rejection, stress,
Yeah.
negativity, anxiety, whatever. So that's the bulk of what you're sending out,
Yeah.
and that's what you're going to attract
Yes.
more of.
Exactly. But that
So
means so you're continuously manifesting. So that is
exactly,
exactly.
exactly. So you can't just tap into manifest for like 10 minutes in the morning and 10 at night or whatever your routine is,
Mm.
and then for the rest of the day you're angry and you're annoyed and you're pissed off at the world and
So
you're
what
just like,
comes then to play? Basically, what you want to do is you want to raise your frequency.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So you want to exactly you want to
Yes.
raise your frequency.
You want to
So
raise your base level.
so
Yeah.
that's why it's very important to love the life you live
Yes.
while building the life of your dreams.
Yes.
You want to be so when you're tapping into your future, that your ideal reality,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're loving that, and you're feeling the sensations and the visualizations, and you're ticking off all the boxes. You're loving it.
Mm.
But then when you come back into this moment as well, you have to make peace with this.
Yeah.
This has to be a beautiful place to be in as well.
Yeah.
You understand? Because once your constant state is abundance and appreciation and love and all those beautiful things,
Oh, I know
that's when your
already.
magnet becomes
I know already what I want to
stronger.
talk about in the next conversation.
Yeah.
I really want to focus on the concept of abundance, in the sense, because so many people
I feel
are.
like it's missed. Yeah. Because
Yes.
people are trying to attract abundance.
Or just
You
abundance
know,
is just financial abundance.
yeah,
It is
you
not.
can't you
No.
can't really attract it. It's
No.
it's within you. You have to feel. You have to find that feeling within yourself first.
Mm.
That's a magnet that you got to turn on.
Yes.
And make it bigger and stronger and more magnetic.
Yeah.
And then it comes flowing, and that's why I guess I was easier manifesting before, because I don't know, I was happier then, maybe.
I think you had a
I had
very
more going.
yes,
I had
yeah.
more going for me.
Mm,
Yeah, and at the moment, it's I realized that I dug myself into this. I
mm.
would say I'm not in a terrible place, just to clarify. But in my mind, I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so because I was
Mm,
blinded. You know, it's just kind of, and that's what Ho'oponopono has been teaching me,
mm,
is teaching me to dissolve the blindness and peel back the layers. And now I feel much better in
mm.
who I am and where I am and what I have around me. You know, not to say I ever took it for granted,
Mm.
but yeah, it's nice. Now it's nice because now I'm not so hung up
Yes.
on my future. Like, you know, my Harley Davidson. Come on, Harley. It must be here. You know, now
Yes.
I've let go of that expectation and the desire and the desperate feeling of it must come now.
Mm.
Now I'm like, it will come whenever it comes.
Yes.
Everything is beautiful. Everything is blessed. Everything is abundant. I'm loving the way I am and where I am right now. Now I'm at the point where I can, you know, do a little session, focus on what I want, and then easily just go, oh, just let it go,
Beautiful.
and it will come whenever it comes. You know.
Beautiful.
So
Ugh, I think this is such a beautiful point to end this conversation today. So please send us some questions through, and I'm looking forward. I really think that abundance should be our next conversation. We'll go in depth into it and both our understanding of abundance. And
I think so. I
I
think
think,
we'll do some work and work on how we can explain more healing modalities like
hmm,
Ho'oponopono or something like that.
yes,
Yeah, so we'll talk about more abundance and actual give you some practical advice
yes,
on what you can start with.
absolutely. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first conversation, and hopefully there are many, many more to come. So it's,
Definitely.
yes, I'm looking forward to it already.
Yes.
Thank you.